Have you ever had that feeling that everything looks great on the outside, but something just feels off? Like there's a sense of disconnection and you cannot really understand why. Nothing is broken, nothing needs to be fixed. At least the picture looks perfect on paper, but still there's this sense of disconnection from your own life.
No.
I think this is particularly common with high achievers, where nothing is broken, everything looks great, but they feel like the life that they are living does not belong to them somehow. And sometimes this is also all kind of translated in a sense that might not be very conscious, but it's there and it's uncomfortable, which is the question of, is this it? And that is so uncomfortable to admit, because that means that then, can it be that it was all for nothing? And I think there's 3 layers that explain this. One is an identity lag, meaning that the person that they were when they were pursuing the life that they created, this person had different priorities, different needs, different aspirations. And so the person that they became in the meantime actually does not align with that person that they were when they were building the life they have. So that identity mismatch is really visible. And another thing would be a goal misalignment, so meaning that people that are the high achievers, they usually are striving for external validation, for proving themselves. They want to follow what looks good on the paper, and they really want to have the stability in their lives. But then it comes to a point that those drivers don't work anymore. And so the feeling that they expected to have when they were striving for all this feeling is not there. And the last one is about a more biological reason for this, which is that your nervous system adapts. So those things that felt exciting and new and really motivating, really encouraging, those things just don't have the same impact on you anymore. So the nervous system absorbs all those good things that used to be your drivers. Those things become normal, and therefore you lose that impact. And then again, there's nothing that needs to be fixed, and you might feel that you failed, because how can it be that I have all these things, I've built all this life that looks great, and for so many would be a dream life maybe even, and yet I feel so disconnected. I must have failed. And that is not the case. This is a wrong interpretation of what is happening. What really is happening, and a good way to interpret these feelings, would be that you are in a transition phase and in a psychological recalibration. So an interesting question for you to ask for yourself would not be what should I do next? Because this is very common with high achievers, that they want to optimize and press more and change something external. But this is the wrong approach and the wrong question. A more interesting question would be, who is the person that I'm becoming, and what life would be aligned with this person? And this is a much better starting point. I hope this is useful. Thank you for watching. I speak more about these topics on this channel and on my other channels. So subscribe if you're interested in hearing more, and I see you next time.